Hello and welcome to the first round of the Sms-R Championship on Project Cars from my point of view. Just so you all know, there's 20 drivers in the Pro class, 10 in the Challenger class, 10-minute qualifying and a 30-minute race. So let's get into it. So as you can see, we have 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. We're heading towards the end of the session. I'm currently P9, so we're not in a great position as of yet, but we have 2 more laps with good tyres to now go and attack the track and find the absolute limit. We've got a solid banker time of a 36.8 on the board. It's not too bad, but I know I had more in me. I know I could beat the pole time that was currently set by Oscar Rotax, which is 36.5. And as you can see, we have a good start to the lap. We're going to get a little bit of a slipstream from JSR ABS in front of us, and that was my planning before the lap. I thought a slipstream would really help my cause. So as we're going down into the hairpin, yeah, I'm pretty calm at this stage. I know I've got another lap in me if I mess this one up, so you know, there's all to play for. The field, I'm honestly going to say, it took me by surprise how close and fast everyone was. I honestly thought me and Storm, my teammate from Veloce, we would have a bit of a gap, you know, at the front, but everyone was so fast, and it's going to be a really tough but close championship, and that's how it should be. Not just for everyone watching, but for us as drivers as well. It's really exciting being in something so tight and fast. It's, yeah, a really good thing to be in. Going into the third sector, we're only 9 thousandths up on our time we already set, so it's not a blistering lap. But I knew the second lap on these tyres is always faster because the tyres are up to temperature. So I'm probably preparing for the last lap more than I am finishing this lap. We're closing in on ABS, which is good because we'll get a good slipstream on the next lap, but you'll see it does end up affecting us in a bad way. So here we go, on to the final lap. I end up P5 at the end of this one, I believe, if I'm correct. That's right. Only a 10th and a half off Rotax, so it's still a good time, 36.6. We get a mega first corner. We're a 10th and a half up on our previous lap already, and that pretty much puts us on the pole radar. Going into turn 2, a bit wide, but we carry great speed for it, and down this straight you'll see I end up being 3/10 quicker than my previous lap, which would be pole by a country mile given how close the field is. So I'm buzzing going down this straight. I'm like, yes, this is going to be good. I had the confidence in me to finish the lap. I wasn't nervous, so I was just hoping that ABS would either not get in my way or get out of the way. So as you can see here, he has a little bit of a moment in the hairpin. I thought, right, he's going to let me through now, but he doesn't. He, in fairness, and he has every entitlement to do so, he wanted to finish his lap. He was 0.4 of a second up on his personal best. So by all means, he had every right to finish his lap. It's just a bit frustrating for me. I didn't get to finish my lap, and I was certain in my head I would have got pole because no one improved on their time, and yeah, 36.5 was well on the cards. I reckon a 36.3 would have been my time. There you can see we got a bit flustered, we lost all our advantage, and we tried to make it up and hit the wall. So yeah, not great. So we started the race in P6. As you can see, the qualifying times are so close. Rotax to Heidi, Isaac. I mean, the teams are very spread out. It wasn't a case of 2x2 like Noah's Ark. It was very, very random. So here we are then, the race. Here we go, 30 minutes on the clock. Brake bar's down to 57. Let's watch the lights. Here we go. Everyone got a pretty good start, and we're going to go to single file into turn 1. Everyone wants to keep it fairly clean at this stage of the race, and what happens over the next half an hour is beyond belief, really is. It was a very frustrating race, and you're going to see why very soon. So Jardier's in front of us. We go down the outside. We brake a bit later, carry more speed. We have the right way of line going into this left-hander, and for some reason the cars just stick together. I didn't run him out of track. We just about saved it there on the grass, which does, you know, help us out in terms of not losing too many places, but we still had a real hindrance there and went down to 10th, 11th place, I believe, going into the hairpin. And you'll see here we get a massive knock from, I think it's Yoni Tomala or Bensi Banki, I'm not too sure who that was. And they really put us off going into the hairpin. A bit of contact on the exit, but nothing lost there. So already we've had a very chaotic start. Everyone's been, yeah, maybe a bit too eager, but the physics on the game really cost me there. I didn't drive into Jardier, the cars stuck together. And if you don't believe me, just go back and watch it, because that's what happened. We've got the inside of Mangator going into the left-hander. I thought it was on the limit. It was, yeah, just on the limit of fairness. Magic Michael gets pushed wide there by Jardier, so we're all over him going into the third sector. What you were about to see going into the final corner boggled my mind at the time. absolutely took me by surprise. I was cursing. It's a good job you can't in my headset because, yeah. So we got the inside. The move probably isn't on about here, and then look at that. The cars just explode off each other. We get destroyed there by, I think that was Joni Tomala. I'm not too sure though. And yeah, and that's the moment where I thought, right, that is a massive, massive blow to what I thought could have been a race win. Coming out of turn 2, I thought, right, there's definitely a really good result, a podium or a win on the cars, because I was 5th. I knew I had the pace of the front runners, and now after lap 1 I find myself in 17th place, so a real disappointing first lap. And yeah, my head was a little bit of a state, and it would be because it's such an important championship. I didn't really want that start, but yeah, as you can see, 2 places in one go there on the straight, up to 15th, and yeah, I tried my best to gather my thoughts, keep composed, and try and move back up the field, which I think is, yeah, we've had a bad start, but there's still going to be points on the card, points on the cards if we try our best. So coming out the hairpin, yeah, now it was just a case of catch the guys in front of me and don't waste time overtaking them. You know, don't pass them where we could get overtaken again on the next straight. Make sure you're going to get the move done and focus towards the next person. That is just my mentality. So Tejpek runs wide there from TX3, and we got the inside. Again, the cars just stick to each other on the physics. You know, I haven't carried too much speed into the corner. I was going to make the apex of the corner, and the cars just stick together door by door. It's so strange, and I have played Project Cars for a while, and I just maybe forgot that the physics were that bad in terms of overtaking and racecraft. But anyway, it's something to learn and move on to, or move on from, going into round 2 at Monza, which I'm really looking forward to. But anyway, back to the race. We now find ourselves behind Cembolek Bassi, and as you can see, I'm really taking it easy around other cars now. I don't know how reliable the game is in terms of pinging into other cars, so we have quite a bit more pace than Cem, and we're lining him up for a pass on the main straight. And yeah, we're up to 13th, 19 minutes to go. Points are, the top 10 finishers get points, so there's definitely still points on the cards. I knew that in my head, and yeah, we're going to get a really good exit here and a fairly easy manoeuvre. I don't think Cem wanted to battle too much, which is quite smart from him. He also wanted to get some points, so we tried to move forward together, which is the best way to do it. And yeah, so after all my incidents, I was actually 21 seconds off Oscar Rotax, the leader and the eventual winner. And at the end of the race, we finished 16 seconds off him. So I was well aware I had the pace to win the race, and that makes it all the more frustrating that we had the race we did. So as you can see now, behind Bensi Banki from Oscaro, Rotax's teammate. So yeah, he'll be wanting to kind of prove himself towards Rotax's pace in the next round of Monza, definitely, because Rotax performed really well. He got pole and won the race. I mean, there's no arguing that that's a really good performance. And I think Bensi gets a little bit caught out by the Challenger Series there from VP Ace. The cars were about 10 seconds a lap quicker than the Challenger Series, so it wasn't too difficult to move out the way and lap them. But we're going to basically do the same thing again as we did with Cem, line Bensi up for a move going into the hairpin at the end of the long straight. Nice and simple, and we're not going to lose too much time. So yeah, I mean, the race itself, I really enjoyed it. I was happy with my driving performance in terms of my consistency and my lap times and my pace. I just, yeah, not very happy with the first few laps because it cost us big time, you know. Really cost us big time. And, you know, Veloci Esports and myself and Storm, I honestly thought, you know, we're one of the favourites going into this championship, and I still think we are, but coming out of the race with minimal points, we were not happy, let's put it that way. Going into the left-hander, we didn't actually pass Bensi on this lap, but we're going to stick behind him for a little bit longer. We're actually catching the group in front of us, which is really good. Coming up to some cars in the Challenger Series, and this really puts Bensi off. He runs wide here, so we can just drive past him very cleanly, get a bit of a gap, and then focus on P10, the first point scoring position, which, yeah, is currently occupied by Joni Tomala. So we get past the Challenger Series, relatively scarce free. and I felt like right now I felt like I was making good progress. We're 14.5 seconds off Rotax now, so we really made good inroads into his lead. But there's a few incidents up ahead that cost us a bit of time, so we go backwards. You'll see right now, going into the hairpin, Yoni Tormola and Mangator have a massive incident. Mangator almost spins, Tormola does spin, so we're right on the back of Mangator. Like lap 1, can we line him up into the next left-hander for a little bit of a dive bomb? I don't believe we can, to the best of my memory, and we're going to have to overtake him elsewhere. We're now in the points. We're going to get 1 point as we stand. I think Storm, my teammate, was back in 15th at this point. He had such a bad first lap actually that he finished lap 1 behind every single car in the Challenger Series, which shows how far away he was. So again, his pace was really good. In practice we had the same pace. In qualifying we had the pace to get pole. You know, practice qualifying we could have got a 36.5 without a slipstream, let alone with a slipstream. So yeah, I really don't like jumping on the bandwagon of excuses, but it's just such a frustrating situation. Storm was getting very angry there and started speaking in French, which was fair enough. That's how he vents his feelings. And once again, we're with the lead pack now in the Challenger Series, occupied by Operator from THR and the FA Racing driver Christian Kwivneski. So right behind Mangator, we've got a real good pace advantage on the Team Redline driver. I was actually surprised at how, not slow, but off the pace TRL were. Obviously, I'd say they were the favourites going into this championship, and they came 6th, and Mangator didn't finish in the points. So yeah, really surprised. Mangator, clever driving, he didn't want to fight, he wanted to focus on getting P8 and P7, which are currently taken up by the Lazarus drivers. So yeah, that was basically the end of my race, was the final 9 laps. You can see by the times on the left hand side, very consistent, very fast times, and we did catch the Lazarus drivers quite quickly, but the gap was just too big and we ended up finishing 9th on track. 2 points. Storm finished 14th, so that's no points. So Team Veloce got 2 points, which is not good at all. And you're about to hear the reaction of myself and Storm and how disappointed we were.
Fuck. Man, I got spun. Mate, that is not good. Where'd you finish?
P14, man.
P9.
Light.
Shit!
That's incredible. Man, these...
So yeah, as you can hear, not very happy bunnies, and you know, you're not going to expect us to be very happy with the performance we both put in. We're both capable of winning the race, and we both scored minimal points, which, you know, there's a feeling of we let the team down, we've let so many people down, and ourselves down as well, so it does motivate us to go and win the next few rounds, but definitely in the moment it's a horrible feeling. And yeah, as you can see, some real good finishes there for ACR, VP, and obviously Oscaro winning the race, and Bensi did get a point, so yeah, 2 point scoring finishes there for Oscaro. So it's obviously a 3-horse race at the moment between VP, ACR and Oscaro, and then it's kind of an open playing field behind. Lazarus did score some solid points, but yeah, it's all to play for. 3 rounds left. The top 4 teams qualify for the LAN Final, where there's a €20,000 prize pool. And yeah, it's going to be a really exciting championship, and I can't wait to record and upload highlights of all the races, because I know this wasn't a great one for me, but it was still entertaining, and that is the main point of me putting these videos up, is to show you lot what it's like to race at the very top level. I don't think I've raced in a field of 20 drivers where the quality is so high. I mean, every driver there deserves to be there, and they're all fast, they all have previous success, they're all top drivers across a variety of games. You know, Tormola from F1, Storm obviously from Project Cars, Bollock Bassi from iRacing, loads of drivers, and to be in the field and to have the pace to be at the front of the field is really, really exciting. So yeah, a lot of positives. Obviously not a great result, but we're going to move on and we're going to be ready to win hopefully round 2, 3 and 4 of the championship and be at the LAN event and hopefully win Sms-R. That is the goal. So I hope you've all enjoyed this first highlight video, and I'll see you for next week in round 2 at Monza.